Chapter 1. Mr. Fogg and His New Servant. On the 2nd of October, 1872, Mr. Fogg, an English gentleman, got very unhappy with his servant. "James, this morning the water was 2 degrees colder than usual, so you have to go. A new servant will come in 10 minutes. Mr. Fogg lived alone in a nice and comfortable house. He led a quiet life of a rich English gentleman. He didn't talk much, and nobody knew much about him. He was a good-looking man, about 40 years old, tall, and strong. Mr. Fogg spent most of his time in the club and returned home to get some sleep. Mr. Fogg loved his daily routine and hated any surprises. There was a knock at the door, and a young man came in. He was about 30 years old, with thick brown hair, blue eyes, and a smiling mouth. You would like to have such a pleasant friend. "What is your name? I think you are French, aren't you?" asked Mr. Fogg. "You are right, sir. I am Jean Passepartout. I like my surname, because it means I can find the way out of any difficult situation. I can get out of anything." Jean Passepartout had different jobs in his life. He was a traveling singer, a circus rider, a teacher of gymnastics, a fireman. These days, he was tired of changes. "Now I am in England because English people are very quiet. I want to be a servant to a real English gentleman. I want to work for you because people say you are the quietest man in Britain." "So you are looking for a quiet life, aren't you?" asked Mr. Fogg, and the young man nodded his head. Mr. Fogg looked at his watch and said, "From now, 11:29, on the 2nd of October, 1872, you are my servant." The next moment Phileas Fogg put on his coat and left the house. Jean Passepartout was alone. First he felt uncomfortable. "What shall I do?" he thought, and went to explore the rooms. Soon he liked the house, especially when he found his room. There was a timetable on the wall. 8 o'clock. Mr. Fogg gets up. 8:23. Bring tea. 9:37. Bring washing water, 31 degrees. 11:30. Mr. Fogg goes to the club. Jean read the timetable and learnt the daily routine of Mr. Fogg. Everything was there, and Passepartout smiled happily. That was the day when Jean became Mr. Fogg's servant. From his first day at Mr. Fogg's house, Jean enjoyed his new job. "This is just what I wanted. What a home-loving and regular gentleman. I have found my ideal master."